Hello, I want us to do a video regarding the visa questions that are asked in the embassy by the visa officers before when you go for the interview. So I want us to do a short detailed episode, and I want you to be very keen. Take your pen and paper, because these are most important. These are important points for you to note down before you go for the visa interview, and they will help you. I do not mean that all these questions are the ones that everyone is normally asked, but some of the questions that are normally asked in the embassy. And I have ever gone to a Belgium embassy when we were going for a trip in Belgium. I went to the embassy. There are some of the questions that they normally asked to get to know whether your trip is authentic or not, whether you have a genuine trip or it is a made-up thing. So take your pen and paper and listen carefully for the points, and I know they are going to be helpful to all of us. So the first thing that they might ask, I'm saying they might because it is not a must they ask, but mostly they are going to ask this question: what is the purpose of your visit? Why are you going to visit Europe? Why are you going to visit Canada? Why are you going to visit the UK or the US? So you have to give them a genuine reason why you are going for the visit. Are you going for medical? Are you going for touristic visit? Are you going for sightseeing? Are you going for a conference? Or what purpose is taking you to the country that you are going? Or is it for education? So after they get to know the purpose of the visit, they can ask a question like this: have you ever visited that country before? If you have gone to the US embassy, they might ask you, have you ever been to the US before? If it is yes, you have a visa, maybe you have a US old visa that you used to go to the US with before, say yes. Because I told you, do never lie to a visa officer. Do never be cheated by a hooligan to cheat a visa officer for you to get your way through. Always say the truth, do the right thing, and you're going to get your visa. And if you don't get the visa, wait until another time, you go and try another time. So they will ask you, have you ever visited the US? If it is yes, show them the evidence. Do you have the old visa in the old passport? And that's why I encourage people to carry all the passports, even if they are 10 or 20, with stamps, exit, entrance into countries, the old visas, Schengen visas, Canadian visas. There are some countries, when you have their visas, you can be considered for a visa issuance easier than someone who don't have a visa. I'm not saying that you cannot be given a visa if you do not have an old visa in your passport. But when you go with a travel history in your passports, they see you went to Israel, they see you went to Jamaica, they see you went to Kenya, they see you went to Dubai, they see you went to Egypt, they see you have entry stamps for US, and you have the US visa and all that. It is easier for them to issue you with a visa than a person who has a blank passport. So always carry your documents, the old passport, the visas and all that, and show the evidence. Never lie to a visa officer. You cannot get away with that. Lying is not, do never lie. So after they ask you whether you have visited that country, they will ask you, have you ever visited another country, another different country? They want to know at this point. The first question was, have you ever visited this country? Maybe you have gone to the US embassy. Before they give you the visa, they can ask you, have you ever been to the US before? And that's where what I've said, show them the evidence that I went to US and I exited. And they will ask you, if you went to the US, how long did you take? And mind you, they have information in their system, in their database. So whatever you are saying, remember, if you went to the US and overstayed, everything is in the system. So do never lie. And when you are given some days to go to the US, because for example, you can get a 5 years US visa, a B1, B2. I told you a B1, B2 is a visitor visa. You can get a B1, B2 visitor visa from the embassy in your country. When you go to the US, when you are entering the US, maybe through Boston, maybe through New York, New Jersey, the visa, the immigration officer in that port of entry will decide or determine the days that he's going to give you to stay in the US, because he is going to ask you some questions. Why have you visited like that? And then you talk to them. They are going to interview you once again, by the way. So they are going to question you. So after questioning you, they can decide they are going to give you 2 weeks, depending on the purpose of visit. But when you enter the US, you decide, I'll stay for 1 month. When you do that, when you are exiting after that 1 month, that you have overstayed, they are going to put it in the system. Because if they give you two weeks, they key in the data in the system. They have all the information that this passenger have come to Boston, going to visit wherever, and is going to exit on this date. So if you fail to exit on that date, remember that you are going to be given a ban. So when you go to the embassy for the interview, they will have all the information. So do never lie. If you overstayed, tell them that you overstayed and give a genuine reason. And I prefer, if you have an overstay in a country, go to the particular office and say why you are going to overstay. Because you can go to the US and get sick, and that is not your wish. So if you get sick, there are procedures that you're going to follow when you're in that country, so that they might know that this passenger came here, but unfortunately he fell sick. That one is understandable, and it should be in the it should be put in the system. So after that, they are going to ask you so many questions. They are going to ask. So after this question of whether you overstayed, say the truth. Why you overstayed? If you did not overstay, you are that is good, because now you came out before your time was over in the US or in the UK or in Canada or even in the Schengen territory. After that, they can ask you a question like, show us the travel itinerary. So I'm going to the US for a conference, maybe in a particular church. Show them all the travel plans. I have planned to go to the US to enter in this date, and then after that, I'll go to this hotel. These are my transport arrangements. These are my hotel bookings and everything. So that when I go to the US, you have everything. Show them the travel itinerary, the plan that you have planned. I'll go to this place, to this place. I have this hotel. I have this transport, or whatever transportation. I'm going to a tourist attraction where and where, and they have all the itinerary. So have a detailed itinerary. Show them that you have a genuine and authentic reason for your travel. So, and they will want to know for this visit that we are going to give you a visa, what will be your duration of stay? How long will you be staying in that country that you are going? Maybe you are going to Canada. For how long will you be in Canada? Give the right information. Tell them I'm going for 1 month because of this and this and this and this. And then I always say, when you give the right answer, you are not going to be panicky. You are not going to be nervous, because you are talking the truth. So they can ask you even a question like, are you married? If you are married, you need a marriage certificate. If you are not, it is okay. If you are divorced, a divorce certificate. So have every information with you before you go to the embassy. They can also ask a question like, what is your employment status? Are you employed or not? Give the details. Your company, are you a manager in that company? Are you a supervisor? Whatever you are in that company, give them. They can ask you very many questions, but always show them that when you go to that country, you will indeed come back to your country, because already you have your itinerary. I'm going to this time to the US, and then I'll come back at this time. And show them that you have strong ties to your country. Show them that you love your cat, you love your dog, you love your children, you love your property. And so when you visit, you are going to come back home because you have a strong tie to your country, because of the thing that you have here. You have your family, you have your wife, you have your husband, you have your cat, you have your chicken. Show them that you have a strong tie to your property in Kenya, to your people and everyone, or in Nigeria, or in Tanzania, or in India. So convince them, and let your body language speak strongly for you. Because if you are speaking with your mouth, and the facial expression and the body language are speaking different, you are not going to get the visa. These people are trained to even read your body language. So your body language should match with your verbal communication, because the body language speaks even more than the verbal. Do not be nervous. Do not be panicky. Do not go to a US embassy and your mind, you are saying, I want them to give me the visa. When you are panicking like that, you are going to be nervous. And nervousness will show them that maybe you have a sinister motive. Thank you so much for listening. And I always say, information is not the whole information, because things keep changing. They can change anytime. So it's good to always you have an open mind. Because anything can change. The visa requirements, the questions can be different from the question that you asked the other time. The question could be different from the question that I was asked. That's just a guideline, and rules keep changing. And do never lie to a visa officer. So thank you so very much for listening. Prepare yourself very well before you go to the embassy. Have everything. If you are going to visit on your own, you do not have anyone who is inviting you. You have to show them that you have enough money. And enough money will only be seen in your bank statement. You have to show them that you have enough money that gets seen and out of your account. So show them that you have enough money. If someone is hosting you in that country, you must have a invitation letter. But those are documents that you send to the embassy for when you are booking for the interview, invitation letter. If you don't have the invitation letter, you are going on your own, show them that you have a bank statement to cater for you in the duration of stay in that country. Have everything. And I want to tell you, things keep changing. Do never use fake documents. Do never be an imposter. Do never lie to the embassy or to anyone, and you are going to have an easy time. So I wish you good luck when you go for the interview. Get your visa, travel, and come back home. And thank you so very much.